Hi, everybody. We've made it to the 9th day of the Holistic Fast. We're going to recap today. We're going to look at the physical principles that we've covered so far. And then we're going to look at preparing to move now into the emotional principles. We've touched on it a little bit. I've written about it and made links on the last 8 posts. But we'll go into it more in depth in about the next 10 days or so of the fast. So let's look at our principles. I'm just going to look at my okay, so let's look what we've covered. I assume that almost everyone that's doing the fast is, I don't know why these look crooked. We've probably entered into mild healing crises, unless we have been, really needing a fast, really needing some detoxification, in which case you could have, popped into a fairly decent healing crisis. Okay, so day 1, we talked mostly about water. I talked about Dr. Emoto and his work with water. My suggestion is to find the best spring water that's available in your area. There's a website called findaspring.com. It's these people that go around to different places in North America and find the springs and then post them on this website. And it's really great, especially if you're traveling and you want to know where to find some really good spring water. It's accessible. They're posting places that people can take their bottles and access. I didn't put that on on page 1. Day 2, the removal of toxic food, drink, cleaning products, hygiene products, all of that. So the removal of that out of the house completely. Just get it out of the house. Don't rebuy, and really just mix it up. If you're not used to eating eating in this way, or eating without high carbohydrates from grains, then that is a transition. So just really be gentle with yourself. Dr. Berg has many great videos on that. And I like Dr. Berg's videos because they get to the point in like approximately 10 minutes. So they've really helped me a lot. And if I want to remind myself of something, they're easy to find. So yeah, get into that, no grain, at least for these 43 days. And then you'll find that you feel so good after that you don't want to go back to those foods that drag you down, especially the sugar. Okay, on then day 3, we talked about the healing crises. I linked to the Healing Crises book by Dr. John Whitman-Ray. It's an out of print book, and I linked it there to download and print. Feel free to do that. It's completely out of publication, and John would want that material to be widespread, so I give that free of charge as a gift on my website. So that's book 2 of the Logic and Sequence series. So they're really meant to be read in order. So you can go to the Body Electronics Intensive Preparation post and put that in the search bar, and you'll find all 3 books there. So yeah, it's important to know, though. We talked about resistance and addiction and grief in day 3. Resistance basically is anything less than pure unconditional love. So if we look at our consciousness, if we look at our thought processes, our emotion, our word patterns, we can find very readily things that require transmutation. I don't know of anyone on the planet who is beyond resistance, who has, reached that place of enlightenment when they do not resist life or their surroundings. So, it's part of life. It's part of why we're here, is to learn how to change that, how to change the patterns within us that hold us into repetition. So it's really great to just really work at it, work away at it, and we'll get into that a lot more in the next few days. Okay, day 4, oxygen, chlorophyll, and sunshine, how those three things go together. Raw protein and quality inland salt. I don't recommend sea salt. I don't recommend using it at all. I must have damaged my glasses when I went to my daughter's for a few days, and I put my glasses in my bag, and I think they might be off a little crooked. So yeah, oxygen, chlorophyll, and sunshine. Look back on there. I suggested to get some liquid chlorophyll. Liquid chlorophyll is always excellent. It also is a really great alkalizer. So it's really great for getting that pH up. Inland salt, yeah, that's all on there. You can go back and look at that. Day 5, entities. That was when we really started to get into some meat and potatoes. I call it the gut spirit connection, and a parasite cleanse is highly recommended there. Day 6, food evolution from how we heal. And there's other things too that I put on there, but it's mostly about changing your diet and to get into that evolutionary process on the diet that never ends, by the way. It just keeps getting better and better. And like now when I go into a grocery store, I can eat, like a regular grocery store, I can eat maybe 5% if they have a health section, and a health food store perhaps 10%. Health food store has a lot of junk food in it, especially the big corporate ones. Day 7, chaga chai. I put the recipe there for chaga chai. It's an excellent winter drink. I keep it in my slow cooker and just keep brewing it, keep adding a few more Bengal spice bags and a few more cinnamon sticks and chaga when necessary. And that was a big day too. Day 7, I spoke on dental care and injections or immunizations. So that's a big topic. So go back and have a look at that one. Botanical detoxification is day 8. That's the Ojibwe recipe. I share all of the preparation and where to buy, and at least in Canada. In other parts of the world, you can certainly find those things. And stillness, talked about stillness, the 3-part breath. So those. Okay, so let's narrow it down here. So with physical principles, I'm going to put it into 3 categories. So one is nutritional, with the removal of anything that is hindering the healing crises. So anything that is, alcohol, smoking, anything that we're doing, any self-medicating that is hindering the healing crisis, that also falls under nutrition. So that's the first one. And let me clarify here that if someone said to me, well, a certain pharmaceutical drug was hindering the healing crises, and that can very well be true. So of course that is up to you and your doctor on how you deal with pharmaceutical drugs. Some pharmaceutical drugs, people are what's the word, not addicted, but they are reliant. They're reliant on those drugs to survive. So that's not what I mean. I want to be clear about that. That's not what I mean when I say, the removal of. It's, we can't look at these things unconsciously in level 7. We have to really be, it's not black and white. It's for each person to decide for themselves what's appropriate, when it's appropriate. Everything that I do is educational. So the second thing is stillness. So number 1 is, like I said, all of those things. 2 is stillness. So practicing stillness each and every day. It's a really good physical principle to bring you into higher awareness. It will bring you into the awareness of stored pain in the body. It'll bring you into the awareness of emotion. There's a lot of awareness will come from being still. I have written that I think it's one of the most important physical, it's a physical choice, being still, and it's one of the most important physical disciplines that we can have is stillness. So that's that's practiced and mastered over time. Surrender comes in here too with stillness. It's like surrendering. We learn to surrender to that stillness, surrender our need to move, and it's a process. And the 3-part breath. So so the 3-part breath is very simple. Breathing deeply into the abdomen, rising up to the clavicles. You bring it up. You breathe in until it comes up, and then when you exhale, bring down into your abdomen, and really tighten those abdominal muscles at the end of the exhale, and then immediately go into the inhale in the abdomen. Start in the abdomen. It's like filling up a glass of water. So you fill from the, it fills from the bottom up, and then when you exhale, it's from the top down. So just keep doing that in a rhythmic motion, and not a forced or quick breathing, but not like the breathing on day 1 that I posted from Wim Hof. It was a very beginner level breathing of that he developed, and that's a great oxygenator. That's what he's all about, because he wants to do the cold plunges. But and that's it's a great thing to do, especially in the winter here in Canada, to get that oxygen moving, that circulation pumping. So, but the 3-part breath is specific for transmutational work. So it's learning how to breathe deep and even. By even, I mean even inhalation to exhalation, even time. Not like the Wim Hof one was like quick inhalation and it's like more like that. But a 3-part breath goes like I when I practice, I do it like one breath is approximately a minute, and that is developed over time. So it's really like slow. Tighten those abdominal muscles right at the end of the exhalation, and then right back into the inhalation. So those are the 3: the nutritional and more, the stillness, and the breath. Those are the 3 main physical principles to practice, not only for this holistic fast, but for the work of body electronics. So that's a good completion for today. Tomorrow we will pop into some more interesting topics on day 10, and we'll continue with this process. Any questions, comments, please put them in any of the places that I'm posting these, which is the Holistic Self-Healing group page on Facebook, my website, of course, and also on my X account, which is Elia at EliaHeart111. Okay, thank you, and keep going. It's a wonderful thing. At the end of 43 days, I think we should have a nice internet party so that we all get together and celebrate. Okay, thank you.